welcome to our presentation and our proposal on the communication framework for the Nokia company. First, we'll start with our executive summary and our problem statement. So we have been hired by Nokia to identify and analyze problems within their current communication structure to provide actionable solutions that will bolster cross-departmental conveyance. To achieve this, we will do the following. Firstly, we'll start with streamlining decision making by highlighting what is new within the business environment and listing functional experts, using less analysis and reducing the time to complete a plan. Second, we'll align teams through granting authority, increase accountability, and ability assessment. Increase flow of information to create synergy between all management levels during downward information transmission. And next, I'll be handing it off to Mikhail.
Okay, I'll be talking about the value of our solution. So with the smartphone market being so fast-paced and competitive, we expect streamlining alignment in the new communication protocols to expedite the time to market for Nokia's new products. By consistently providing new offerings that incorporate current and evolving trends, Nokia will be able to significantly increase its market share in the $400 billion global smartphone market. We would start by implementing a more streamlined and inclusive internal communications framework. We anticipate the development of a vast product offering with annual growth across all business units. And I'm sorry, I'll turn it over to my colleague Jesse to go over the history of the business.
Thank you, Mikhail. Let me go over some business history with you. Nokia is a Finnish corporation that was established in 1865 and was founded by Fredrik Eidestam, Leo Michelin, and Edward Pollon. The company originally was started as a pulp mill. They were making rubber and cables before transitioning to focus on large-scale telecommunication infrastructure. Making significant contributions in the development of GSM, 3G, and LTE standards, Nokia became a multinational telecommunication, information and technology, and consumer electronics corporation. In 1998, Nokia was the largest worldwide vendor of mobile phones and smartphones. After their mobile phone line was sold to Microsoft in 2014, Nokia diversified its business into Internet of Things, technology seen in your home, automation of appliances, hair mapping used in car navigation systems, digital health, technology used in a Fitbit, and virtual reality. Nokia re-entered the mobile phone industry in 2016 through a licensing agreement with HMD Global, using the Android operating system owned by Microsoft. Why Nokia endures is seen in the mission and vision statements. Nokia is all about connecting people through their different lines of businesses. From their beginning, they have focused on connecting people through the original cable production to mobile phones and even present day in virtual reality. Their vision is to create, build, and encourage people from all countries to communicate with each other to create a world where everybody is connected. This statement, of course, is what drives us to dive deeper into their issues with the very thing they stand by. The question is, how can a business driven to connect the world fail due to its own lack of communication, and how can we help right their wrongs? Let's get into the communication issue. During the analysis of Nokia, we found communication in the company was confusing, untimely, and inadequate. The ability to set a strategic direction, priority, and guidance became non-existent. The flow of information from top executives where critical information came to a dysfunctional stop. In 2004, Nokia reorganized the company into a matrix organization. As you can see in our graphic, in a matrix organization, the team reports to multiple leaders, which this allows the creation of more innovative products. Communication is a key component in this system. During the reorganization, many vital leadership roles were reallocated leading to poor communication. The inconsistencies in the organization design of the complex and expensive operating system and the decisions on alternative technologies for touchscreen phones, which were replacing the keyboard dependent Nokia phones, were not communicated by leadership. This lack of communication didn't help Nokia keep their mobile business. Mikhail will now go over some recommendations and proposals.
Thank you, Jesse. Upon completing our forensic analysis of Nokia's current internal communication structure, we've concluded that the corporate culture needs to be aligned with the necessary factors for strong interdepartmental and cross-managerial communications. Now, by evolving Nokia's communication framework with a modern approach, we will increase efficiency, promote high-level collaborative efforts, and produce game-changing innovations that will drive profits for years to come. We've estimated initial changes will be felt within the first 6 months by way of increased socialization and information sharing. The increase in sales will start to hit the bottom line between 12 and 18 months. Here's also some of our proposed ideas that we think will help to move this along. First, we're going to focus on creating a dialogue between all departments across all management levels accordingly. Then we're going to increase knowledge sharing capabilities and opportunities by creating shared physical spaces with casual seating that fosters group settings and promotes brainstorming. Then we're going to schedule team building activities and implementing a centralized knowledge sharing platform. We're also going to actively encourage relatability between management and employees. We're going to do that through a company podcast that we've seen take off at some of our other clients' endeavors. Then we're going to incorporate a new business development team of subject experts tasked with researching and assessing opportunities for investment in order to facilitate streamlined decision-making processes. Now, we want to take a look at who's going to be responsible for this and who are going to be some of the stakeholders that will need to be involved in this change. First, we have the CEO. They'll be in charge of developing and convincing stakeholders of the new corporate strategy. Next will be the CCO, the Chief Communications Officer. They're also going to be in charge of convincing stakeholders of corporate strategy, communicating corporate strategy to the stakeholders, and translating corporate strategy into a full aligned communication strategy. Next will be the Vice President of Communications. Now, they're going to oversee implementation of internal communications program, track effectiveness of communications, and make recommendations to senior management. They're also going to develop internal corporate podcasts that will help with the relatability efforts. Then finally, we have the Director of Communications. They're going to manage daily operations, conduct quality control on all communications, and manage the communications staff. So once we have those people in place, next we're going to go over some of the objectives that we have and some of the time frames for those objectives and skill set. So what's going to be very important is going to be effective communication, active listening, strategic thinking, leadership, and measurement and analysis of the progress that we make. Now, time frame wise, we're looking at month one, creating and tasking a team to develop new strategies and metrics for measuring successful implementation. Months 2 through 6, we're going to construct the physical shared spaces, implement Microsoft Teams platform to include training for all employees, and then review the implementation and make adjustments as necessary. Now, by months 7 through 12, we're going to have started the podcast and then review how that has been accepted by the company. Month 13 through 18, we're going to start to gather all the metrics and determine the employee acceptance and also the product development, because the implementation of the product will help generate new revenue from the products that we develop. And I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Hannah to wrap everything up.
Thank you. So lastly, for our conclusion, as you can see from all of our recommendations that we have listed, we hope to bring back the key part that makes this organization Nokia. From the very start, we see how connection paved the way for the creation of the mobile phone and helped develop the organization to push it to be the largest vendor of the mobile phone starting in 1998. With our recommendations of bringing communication back into the offices, in more open environments, it will allow for brainstorming and communication to happen easier and faster. We can expect to see the development of Nokia's organization once again. Along with that, using systems like Microsoft Teams will allow all levels of business to have a central area to work together instead of apart. Lastly, having devoted experts be part of the team to help ensure the challenges faced in the past will never happen again, and that the communication skills will continue to develop long past just our current ideas and propositions. Communication will always be set to evolve, and we will realign with the mission statement to truly connect the entire world with communication technology. And lastly, I have our list of references. Thank you so much for listening.